Hi guys, welcome to another episode of What's the Tea with Dan, Never Adam, Austin, and Aubrey's over there. So I know I haven't recorded in a few weeks and the babies are doing awesome. They are almost 2 months old and we honestly can't believe it. You might hear Austin hiccuping in the background. They're right here as I record this video for you guys. But they are doing awesome. We are so blessed and so happy that everything has been going smoothly. Both babies have been amazing, but I did want to get to the question and answers that you guys have submitted. So I'm probably going to have to do this in a few different sections. So if I stop the clip, that's why, because I can't really read all of them at once. So we're going to get started with the question and answers that you guys have submitted on either Facebook or Instagram. Again, don't mind the hiccups. Austin just ate and Aubrey is sleeping. So they are right here. If you hear them cry, I'm going to have to stop the video. Anyway, first question. What twin was older? So for those of you that don't know, they were born naturally and we didn't expect that to happen. And originally, Aubrey was supposed to be born first because we were supposed to have a C-section and she was closer. So she was going to be extracted first and Austin would end up being second. But the week of the delivery, Austin decided that he wanted to be the bigger brother and he wanted to come out first. So he actually flipped and was head down and was the reason why they were both born naturally. So Austin is the older brother by 5 whole minutes. And I think he's going to play an awesome role. You hear me talking about you, don't you? He's making noises and moving around. But yeah, he's going to be an awesome big brother to Aubrey. He already plays the part. He's the bigger baby. He loves his food. He has lots of lovely rolls that we just want to eat up. And Aubrey is the little petite one. So she is like the little sister. So that is the first question. Question number 2. Do you see any similarities between the twins? Looking at them right now, visually, you can tell that they are two different people. They are not identical twins. They both came from the same egg. So we call the egg donor a mama egg or mama hen because she provided us with the egg. It's a hard thing to kind of explain. We don't know how to say she's not the mom. So we like to call her mama hen because she gave us the eggs that were able to be fertilized. So mama hen. They both share the same DNA from her. And then as you guys know or don't know, we were able to use both of our DNA to create one of the babies. So if you don't know this already, Aubrey is technically part of my DNA and Austin is part of I don't even know what I said. Austin is part of Adam's DNA. So looking at them, I don't see many similarities. Also, they're still young. So as they grow older, we might see things. The only thing right now that we are hoping stays this way are the color of their eyes. So right now they both have like a blue eye, which is pretty cool because me and Adam both have brown eyes. Mama hen did have light eyes. So we're hoping that they get that quality from her. Personality wise, they are totally different. Austin is a very happy baby, loves being entertained, loves being held. He was gassy when he was little, when he was first born. So I think he's used to being held a lot. So when he's not held, he doesn't like it and he starts crying. And Aubrey is pretty chill. She sleeps, she eats, she does the normal baby things. But similarities, there really isn't any. They both are on the same sleeping schedule, so that's a good thing. We were able to get them both on the same sleeping schedule, and at night they do sleep between 4 to 7 hours. It depends on the day, and it depends on what's been going on that day. But that's the only really 2 things that we see similar in both of them. Next question. Were you and Adam allowed to be in the delivery room for their birth? So in our last video, I think I showed a short clip of the birth of the babies. So because Barbie delivered them naturally, me and Adam were allowed to be in the delivery room with them. Of course, it was in an emergency room because there were twins, and if there's ever an emergency, they need to be able to have access to everything, I guess. So we were allowed to be in there due to COVID restrictions and basically the health of the babies and Barbie. If it was a planned C-section, only one of us would be able to go, but it worked out that they were both delivered naturally. So me and Adam were right by her side when they were born. Mr. Austin came out first and no complications. Adam was able to cut the umbilical cord for him. Yes, we're talking about you. And then 5 minutes later, Aubrey had a little struggle coming out. So she was born breeched. She was upside down, so they had to pull her from her feet. So we're actually going to the doctor today to get her hips checked out for hips dysplasia and make sure there's no issues there. You hear Austin in the background. He's up talking. But we were able... Yes, that's you. We were able to be there for both of their deliveries, and we were able to record them. Barbie was open to doing whatever. Like I said before, she was probably the best thing that has happened to us in this whole experience. Yeah, I'll probably get some questions about that later. But yeah, we were both able to be in the delivery room, and we were able to watch them enter the world, hear their cries for the first time. And it was a moment that I'll never forget. Are you so happy? I might have to stop this in a little bit. We'll see how much Austin wants to talk. So next up, funny question. Have you ever been pooped on? Yes. So the first dirty diaper that exploded on me was from Mr. Austin, and he is also infamous for peeing on people. So anytime you open his diaper and he looks like he's ready to go, you have to make sure that you have a wipe on him. Otherwise, he will shoot in your face. He will shoot over the changing table. He likes to make a mess. He pees on himself, and we're not sure if it's just because he eats a lot or he doesn't like the cold, but we have wipe warmers, so we try to kind of make sure that they're warm before we wipe him up. But I have been pooped on, and I have been peed on, and I'm kind of used to it, but that was a good question. I've also been vomited on. So we've been playing around with different formulas for the babies, and Aubrey is not liking the formula that we had on her last. So I got some projectile vomit on me multiple times. I know she's been throwing up on multiple people. So we're hoping that the formula that we put her back onto makes her a happy baby again. But right now I'm going to go cater to the babies because this is my life. And I will record the next set of questions in a few minutes. Thanks. And we're back for probably 3 more questions I can get through. So Austin is currently sucking on his wubbanub. So he's kind of quiet, but he just spit it out. So I might have to, oh, yep, there he goes. So I'm going to try to give it to him again so we can get back to our questions. Originally, they didn't like having binkies, or they did in the hospital. And as soon as we got home, Austin wasn't having it. He realized that there was no food coming out of it. But we now have our wubbanubs, and Austin has, I don't know if you can see it, Austin has the elephant. So he likes being able to hold something. So we're hoping that this works out for a little bit longer. So next question is, since you both use your DNA, did they tell you which baby was yours? So yes, we kind of knew going into this that we wanted to be able to ultimately pick the gender of the babies. So back in the day when we had our embryo testing, we were able to find out the genders of the babies and who was the father of each one of them. So we ideally wanted to have a boy and a girl, and I always dreamed of having my own little cheerleader to put bows in her hair. And little did I know Aubrey was going to be bald. And she has a little bit of hair, but not enough to put bows in it. And Austin is daddy's little boy. So Adam always wanted a little boy. And ultimately, if it didn't work out that way and we ended up with 2 girls or 2 boys, or a boy from me and a girl from him, we would have been happy with whatever we got. But we were truly blessed with the outcome of this whole journey. So did they tell us? Yes, they told us before we even implanted them. So we were able to pick the genders before we did the implantation. Why can't I think of the word? The transfer, before the transfer. So we knew that ultimately we were putting 2 embryos up, and one was a boy and one was a girl. So that answers that question. I was wondering if you still kept in touch with Barbie. How is she feeling and recovering since the delivery? So yes, we still keep in touch with Barbie, and we hope to for the rest of our lives. Like you all should already know, she was a big part of this journey, and just because she's in a different state doesn't mean that she's not a part of our family. We couldn't do it without her. So yes, we do keep in touch with her. It's very difficult these days to keep in contact with anyone, being that we have 2 little ones, but we are friends on Facebook, and we do have our group chat that we try to keep up with her lives, and she's been doing well. She is recovering, so she actually was cleared by the doctor for her for everything after the delivery. So last week she was cleared, so everything is going well. She was in the hospital for a few more days after we left, just due to complications. They wanted to kind of monitor her. Don't mind me, I'm trying to get Austin to take his pacifier. So yeah, she's doing well. Her family is great. She's actually traveling right now, which I'm glad she's able to get back to her normal life. But yeah, we will always keep in contact with her, and the babies will know who she is and how much she helped us, and our whole family knows that. And hopefully she comes to visit them. We are trying to plan birthday parties and stuff, and I know she mentioned that she would want to come. So we are always open to it, and we knew this from the start that we wanted to have kind of an open relationship with our surrogate, because we couldn't create a family without her. So yes, long answer for that question. Next, does the egg donor know you had the babies, and has she seen a picture of them? Yes, Mama Hen, also known as Ashley, does know that the babies were born. We kept in contact with her after the donation and the surgery was done, and we've given her updates throughout her whole process. Bless you. So she donated once before. Bless you. 3 times the charm. And she said that she never had the option to be able to talk to the parents that she donated for. So she wasn't even able to tell if the eggs that she donated worked. So going into this, we were very open, like we said from the beginning, and we text her pictures and updates and sent her baby pictures, and she said that Miss Aubrey looked like her twin sister. So yeah, it's nice to still have contact with her, and I think if the babies ever want to, when they're older, she is free and she's open to talking to them. But we're not going to hide how they were born from anyone. So when they ask, I'm sure we're going to tell them. It's a different type of story that many other people can tell, but we're open to it. So we are keeping in contact with her, and we send her pictures all the time. So yes, we do talk to her. I'm going to pause the video because we made it a little bit more through the questions than I thought we were going to. So I have to go get the questions, and I will finish up the question and answers shortly. We are back. So I have a few more questions on here. And again, if you guys ever have questions, feel free to reach out. I love this whole experience, and I love sharing everything with you guys. So just throwing that out there. Next question. Will the egg donor ever meet the babies, or is there legal things that don't allow that? So she is allowed to meet them, and we are open to having her meet them. She also is from Montana, so I don't think it's going to be anytime soon that she's going to want to fly out here. But we left the door open. If she were ever in the area, she can stop by, or if she wanted to come visit, she can. Like I said before, we're not going to hide how the process was done. So once they ask, do we have a mom, and how did this work out? we'll tell them. So she is legally allowed to come visit them if she wanted to. I mean, it's really up to us, but I think we would be okay with it. And there are a lot of legal things that are put into this whole process. We were actually required to go to court virtually through Zoom with Barbie, our surrogate. And instead of flying out there, we were able to do it on Zoom. So there's a lot of court orders and documentation and lawyers involved with this whole process that basically grants us the permission to be called the parents of the babies from birth. So it's an interesting story, but legally they are ours. And it worked out that we worked with a surrogate, not in New Jersey, because in New Jersey, even if you are a surrogate or a gestational carrier, you are able to decide if you want to keep the babies after one day. So I think you have 48 hours to decide if you want to keep them, even though you might have been going through a surrogacy experience. In some states, there are no laws that prohibit you from taking the babies since you delivered them. So with our agencies, we were able to work with lawyers and get all of that squared away. But yes, very interesting question, and some that I can probably go into a lot of detail with. So the last two questions are probably the big elephant in the room. A lot of people know that this is not a normal family growing experience, and that we had to pay a lot of money for our two little angels. And they wanted to know how much the experience cost us. So we have not even finished all of our medical bills. We are still waiting for some hospital bills to come in, and we are not complete with our escrow account. Basically, our escrow account has money that we had to put into it that gets taken from for any bills. So we're waiting on that final number. But to give you an estimate, he is not taking this, so I'm trying. But to give you an estimate on the cost of this, it cost us probably around $125,000 because insurance doesn't cover any of it. So from the whole process to the beginning of finding an agency, finding an egg donor, paying our surrogate, paying our lawyers, getting all the medical processes done, it did cost a lot of money. And we knew going into this that it was going to cost a lot. And with buying a new house and starting our life, we knew that this was the plan. And we knew that we would be in debt for a long time with them. But honestly, looking at them and looking at this whole experience, I wouldn't have changed a thing. Yes, the cost of having a baby through surrogacy is a lot. And even through adoption, we looked into adoption, and adoption is still expensive. So we ultimately changed our plan. Well, not really changed it, but we went with our plan, and we decided to continue through our experience with surrogacy. And yes, it does cost a pretty penny. A lot of credit cards, a lot of loans, and we're making it work. As you know, we both have great full-time jobs, and we're just going to hack at that bill each month, and hopefully in a few years our expenses are paid, but we don't have a final number on how much it cost. So maybe once we have all of it done, I will go through and break through every cost, because that will be interesting for you guys to see that. Yeah, so that was one of the big questions. And then, oh, does it cost double because you had two babies? So no, it doesn't cost double. It does cost more because there are some surrogates that will carry two babies. And then just medical expenses go up for two babies like it would in a normal pregnancy. So I believe it was still over $100,000 for having one baby through surrogacy. And at that point, me and Adam were like, listen, we know we want to, so we might as well bite the bullet now and go for two. And it ended up being cheaper than it would have been if we did two separate surrogacy experiences. So it does not cost double. We did not pay $300,000 for two babies. We're probably around 150, maybe under it. But like I said, we'll go through that another time. But no, we would not be able to do it if it was double. So that is a really good question. I don't have any more questions written down right now. But if you guys ever have any questions, comments, concerns, ideas, tips, let us know, because like we've said, this is all new to us. We are living day by day. This is the real life, and you guys have seen pictures of our house, and a lot of you say how nice it is. And I just have a really nice background right now. But if I pan the room, it is not as nice as it looks. Our house is in a different state than you see on social media. Here are the babies. So we have a lot of stuff going on, and this is just our main living floor. So upstairs is a little bit different, but everything that we have gone through in the past 7 weeks has been amazing. The ups, the downs, the happy moments, the sad moments. It's just something that I've always dreamed of and I've always wanted to have, and I am so glad that I'm able to call myself a dad. I don't know what's next. I don't know. Some people have asked. Oh, another question was, I didn't write this down. I don't know why. Are you going to have more? So that is a big question that I don't think we can answer right now. I love having these two right now, and they are perfect. And having more, we might jeopardize that perfection. So we don't know. We still have our embryos that are frozen with our doctor, and we pay monthly for them to stay frozen. Otherwise, they get donated to a research. So we do have, I think, like 12 frozen embryos still that are good quality, and we know the sexes of them. So we would ultimately pick what we wanted. But at this point, we are focusing on our life and getting the whole fatherhood thing down. But other than that, I think that's it for the question and answer video. Aubrey is waking up, and I might have to go feed them. So I'm glad I got this out. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me through social media, phone number, text, whatever. You can DM me on Facebook or Instagram, whatever works best for you. But thank you for tuning in to another episode of What's the Tea with Dan, never Adam, Austin, and now Aubrey. And on that note, we are going to go get some bottles ready because the babies are hungry. But thanks for tuning in. And again, if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. Talk to you later. Bye.